Hello and welcome to this video on a graduated approach to meeting need. My name is Hannah Chummings and I'm one of the service leads for schools in Devon, overseeing education, quality and inclusion. This short video explains how schools in Devon can support children with different or additional needs through a graduated approach. This means starting with inclusive practices that benefit all children through ordinarily available inclusive education, and then adding more additional or targeted support when needed. Devon has developed two key frameworks to help schools with this. The first of these frameworks is the Ordinarily Available Inclusive Education Framework, and this was outlined in a previous video, so please watch this for more information on how schools can ensure inclusive provision for all children and young people. The second framework is the Targeted Support Framework, which helps schools support children who need something additional or different. This framework is designed to support schools through a graduated approach, starting with inclusive practice and provision for everybody and increasing support and provision over time as needed. So what is ordinarily available targeted support? Some children need a bit more support than others to be able to access and engage in their learning and social interactions. This is on top of the high quality, ordinarily available inclusive education that should already be available to them. This additional or different support is known as ordinarily available targeted support, and it should be provided by schools without the need for extra funding or formal plans. Many children receiving this support will be on the Special Educational Needs and Disabilities Register, but not all. Some children may just need some form of additional support or intervention for a short period of time to help them get back on track. Ordinarily available targeted support can take lots of different forms and will look different for different children. It may include more frequent use of ordinarily available inclusive provision strategies. For example, there may be a whole class visual timetable that supports all children know what's happening throughout their day. But some children will require their own individual timetable that they can have in front of them on their table, and others may need their visual timetable broken down into really small steps through a now, next and then board. These are both examples of targeted support. The whole class may have regular breaks throughout the day to help them rest, reset and refocus, but a few children may require breaks more frequently and will have these timetabled into their day. Or some may need to do very specific, busy or calming activities during their breaks to help them refocus and continue with their learning. Where these breaks are carefully planned for the individual child, this is targeted support. Targeted support may also include the use of specific resources or equipment, such as more frequent use of a laptop to support their writing, a specialist chair to sit in, or something that amplifies the teacher talking. Some children may require some additional time with an adult. This may be the class teacher or another adult. This could be on their own to check they've understood an instruction or to talk through a specific situation that's happened. Others may benefit from some small group work to help teach and practice specific skills, whether that's to support their learning or their social and emotional skills. Importantly, targeted support should be carefully planned by the class teacher to meet each child's needs. And, where possible, this support should happen in the classroom so that the child remains part of the lesson and is working with their friends and is not taken out for key bits of learning that they may miss. Schools are required to support children with additional or identified needs through a graduated approach. This starts with high quality inclusive provision and strategies for all children. Where children need some additional support, some targeted support, there should be a regular cycle of 4 different steps, known as Assess, Plan, Do, Review. This cycle supports a growing understanding of the child and young person's strengths as well as their barriers to learning, and this will ensure that the most appropriate support and provision is put in place over time. The Assess stage can use various different approaches to identify strengths as well as needs. It's really important to know the child and their needs well, and the child and parents should be part of this process. Once there is a good understanding of the child and young person and their needs, a clear plan of support should be made that identifies the strategies and approaches that will be used to support them. This plan should be made with the child and young person as well as the family. Schools call these plans all sorts of different things. It may be called a school support plan, an individual education plan, an individual learning plan, a personal learning plan, a My Plan. There's all sorts of different names schools use. Make sure you find out what name your school uses for this plan. Once there is a plan, it's important that this plan is put into action. This is the do stage. The class teacher should remain responsible for working with your child on a daily basis and oversee any other support that's in place. There should be regular reviews planned to check how things are going and make changes if needed. This should involve class teachers, other staff in the school where appropriate, and the child or young person and you as parent carers. You should consider what has worked, what hasn't worked so well, and what else is needed. Importantly, the child and young person as well as parent carers should be central to every stage of this assess, plan, do review cycle to ensure everyone plays an equal role in ensuring the right support is in place at the right time. Schools can use the targeted support framework to help identify the needs of a child as well as plan the right targeted support and provision to best meet these needs. The targeted support framework is structured around 4 key areas from the SEND Code of Practice: communication and interaction, cognition and learning, social, emotional, mental health, and sensory and physical needs. Children may need support in some of these areas or all of them. Children with communication and interaction needs may struggle to focus and attend. They may find it hard to express themselves or join in with conversations. They may find it hard to adapt to new or unexpected events or environments. They may have some sensory differences. Those children with cognition and learning needs will find learning more difficult than others and may need some additional help with their reading, writing, or maths. They may need help to understand new ideas or remember information, as well as staying focused or completing tasks or managing and organising their time. Those children with social, emotional and mental health needs may struggle to manage their feelings, emotions or behaviours. They may feel anxious, withdrawn or have low self-esteem, or they may find it hard to build relationships or cope with change. Children with sensory and physical needs may have a physical disability that affects their ability to move or use equipment, or they may have a visual or hearing impairment, or both. The targeted support framework helps to identify these needs and recommends key strategies and approaches that can be used to support the child. Schools aren't required to put every recommendation from the targeted support framework into place, as there are so many in the framework, but they should carefully consider what is best for the individual child and regularly review the impact of the support through the assess, plan, do review cycle that was described in the previous slide. As parents and carers, you know your child best. In Devon, we've worked with families to develop the 4 cornerstones as a way to build trust and strong relationships between schools and families. If you feel your child isn't getting the right support, start by talking to the school. Share what works and what doesn't. It is important that you are part of assessing the needs of your child, planning the support for them, and reviewing how well this support is helping them. If you don't feel that you are part of this process, speak to your school and discuss how this could work better. Working together is the best way to make sure your child gets the help and support they need to thrive. We hope this video has given you a better understanding of the graduated approach and the resources that are available to schools to help support your children and young people to access the right support at the right time so that they can fulfil their potential and thrive.